What's up, geometry? Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Math with Mullins. Today we're starting our Unit 7 over some quadrilaterals and polygons. So we're going to talk about parallelograms specifically today. So proof and use theorems about how the properties of parallelograms and how to use those to determine their diagonals as well. Let's go ahead and talk about first what is just a normal quadrilateral, and then how do I know if it's a parallelogram or not. So a quadrilateral is going to be a 2D figure with 4 sides and 4 angles. So that could be a trapezoid, a kite, a rhombus, a square, a rectangle, you name it. So it doesn't need to be perfect looking. Really just anything that's got 4 sides and 4 angles. A parallelogram specifically, though, is a quadrilateral with both pairs of opposite sides showing that they are parallel. So this is when we're going to see like a rhombus or a square or a rectangle. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at what all those things mean. So we're going to talk about different theorems and what those properties would do to make it a parallelogram. So opposite sides, it says if a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then its opposite sides are congruent. So that means this side matches this side, and this opposite side matches that opposite side. Okay? If a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then its opposite angles are also going to be congruent. So that means if this angle is 100 degrees, then that means this angle would be 100 degrees. Or if these two angles would be 80, then this angle would be 80. So opposite angles have to match. Consecutive angles, if a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then its consecutive angles are supplementary. Consecutive angles just means one right after the other. So that means this one could be 80 and then this one could be 100. So remember we talked about like walking the perimeter of a rectangle or a quadrilateral. It means one right after the other. And then diagonals, if a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then its diagonals bisect each other. So that means from one corner to its opposite and the other corner to its opposite, they're going to create 2 even segments. Maybe they match, maybe they don't. That kind of depends on the shape, and we'll talk more about that specifically in the next episodes to come. Let's go ahead and try example 1, finding the missing measures. So a lot of these are pretty easy. So for example, CD is here. It's right across from AB, so CD is also equal to 4 feet. And then AC is across from 1.5 feet, and since this is a parallelogram, opposite sides are going to match. Okay, the measure of angle B is opposite C, so that's going to be 45 degrees. And then to find the measure of angle A, that's consecutive to 45. So I know that they need to be supplementary, so I'm just going to take 180 and subtract 45, and I'm going to get 135 degrees. This next one's going to require some steps. See if you can try this one on your own. So if you want to pause the video here, go ahead. But when you're ready to check it, go ahead and click play to see what we come up with. All right, the first thing I did was set 2y plus 1 is equaling to 101. So I started with finding y first. I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. I get 2y is equal to 100. So that means y has to be equal to 50. The next thing I did is I found x, and I noticed that x was consecutive with 101. So I took 101 plus 4x minus 9 is equal to that supplementary angle of 180. I'm going to combine some like terms here. This is going to give me 92 plus 4x equals 180. Subtract 92 from both sides. I'm going to get 4x is equal to 88. and then dividing both sides by 4, I'm going to get x equaling to 22. And then the last thing I did is I also used that supplementary reasoning to say for z and 101, those should also be 180 degrees. So 101 plus 4z plus 3 is equal to 180. And then combining like terms, I'm going to get 104 plus 4z equals 180. Subtracting 104 from both sides. 4z is equal to 76. So that means z is equal to 19. You could have also plugged x back in here, find out what 4 times 22 minus 9 could be, and then set it equal to 4z plus 3 to solve for z. That would be another quick way you can do it. But whatever method you chose, just as long as you got the same numbers as I did. All right, let's go ahead and look at example 3. It says in the parallelogram QRST, RU is equal to 34. So I'm going to try to find RT, remember, with diagonals. I'm going to go back here. Diagonals bisect each other in parallelograms. So if R to U is 34, that means U to T should also be 34. So that means to find RT, that'd just be 34 plus 34. 34 times 2, and I'm going to get 68. Okay? In example 4, go ahead and try this one on your own. We're going to pause it here. In this parallelogram below, the measure of ADC is equal to 4x, and DAB is equal to 2x minus 6. Find x, z, and AC. So what I can do first is determine the letter z. I know that both of these are going to be equivalent to one another because my diagonal is bisecting. So 3z minus 4 is equal to z plus 5. I'm going to go and subtract z from both sides and add 4 to both sides. So I get all my like terms together. So that's 2z is equal to 9. So z is equal to 4.5. So that'd be step 1. And then it does say DAB is equal to 2x minus 6. And then ADC is equal to 4x. So these two angles together are consecutive. So that means if I add them together, 2x minus 6 plus 4x, that should be equal to 180. I'm going to combine like terms. 6x minus 6 equals 180, or 6x is equal to 186 because I just added 6 to both sides. So that means x is going to be equal to 31. Okay? And then it says find the measurement of AC. AC is this entire diagonal, and so I'm just going to plug in z, which is 4.5. So 4.5 plus 5 means this EC is 9.5. So AC can be found if I just do 9.5 times 2. So AC is equal to 19. And there we have it. So that's going to conclude our lesson on parallelograms. I've got a worksheet for you coming up next, and that'll be all until we check in tomorrow for how do we test for a parallelogram. Hope this helps you, and have a great day. Bye.